and developing programs that ensured accurate testing for bird flu in milk and cheese and pathogens like the parasite Cyclospora in other food products. That's great. That's awesome. So because of the idiotic far-right reaction to COVID regulations, because of Joe Rogan's bullshit propaganda, now all these jackasses who run the government are convinced that COVID is a Chinese bioweapon, which is trying to kill us all. But it's also nothing. It's like a cold. It's like a mild flu. It's totally fucking contradictory. But they believe in like, hey man, let her rip libertarian style, no questions asked. Oh, do we have people who make sure bird flu is not in the milk and the cheese? Don't care. Fire them. Fuck them. This is where they're at. Effective Monday, the agency suspended its proficiency testing program for grade A raw milk and finished products, according to the email sent in the morning from the FDA's Division of Dairy Safety and addressed to network laboratories. Grade A milk or fluid milk meets the highest sanitary standards. The testing program was suspended because FDA's Moffitt Center Proficiency Testing Laboratory, part of its division overseeing food safety, is no longer able to provide laboratory support for proficiency testing and data analysis, the email said. Wow. The Trump administration, by the way, is cutting $40 billion illegally from the FDA. Because, you know, why do we need food safety? Why? I mean, the companies will take care of it themselves. As Dave Rubin says, competition will kick in and then it'll all work out. Everybody needs to do themselves a favor. Go read Upton Sinclair, The Jungle. I don't know about you guys. We had to read it in school. And there was a reason why we had to read it in school. It's about the importance of having government regulation, right? It's about the importance of food safety laws. That's the whole point. Like, you need competent people who are actually looking out for our best interest, for the best interest of the American people. And now that lesson is so far gone, and you got the fucking, the mental patients have taken over the asylum. But I'm just getting started, bro. Breaking, the Trump administration just hid data that lets communities know about dangerous chemical facilities in their midst. The move came after lobbying from the chemical industry and after massive inauguration donations from chemical companies. So again, what they're doing is ideological because they don't believe in the government doing good things. But it's also from corruption. Because if they give you money, you serve them, they say, get rid of these fucking regulations, bro. Get rid of them. So that's great. The government's chemical disaster tracking tool just went dark. Shout out to David Sirota and Katya Schwenk for this piece in Lever News. More, EPA set to cancel grants aimed at protecting children from toxic chemicals. The cancellation set to apply to pending and active grants also affect research into forever chemicals contaminating the food supply, which is exactly like what we've talked about before. Trump officials quietly moved to reverse bans on toxic forever chemicals. Just so everybody understands, one of the many good things that Tim Walz did as governor of Minnesota is he banned the PFAS, the forever chemicals. This is something Joe Rogan would love. RFK Jr. loves, he talks about these forever chemicals are really horrible, really bad. Well, go figure. The guy who actually banned the forever chemicals, Rogan and RFK hate him. But Trump, their boy, who they love, is reversing the bans on the toxic forever chemicals. He is pro forever chemical, which means he owns all of the health problems that come as a direct result of this shit being released. That's why, look, I got furious when they were trying to play politics and virtue signal and demagogue when they had that kid with cancer who wants to be a cop at the State of the Union speech. And then everybody was like, why are the Democrats not standing for the kid? How dare they? This is low. This is a kid with cancer. The reason why they're not standing is because Trump is pro kids getting cancer. His policies will give more kids cancer. You understand? You don't get to virtue signal like, oh, bro, I'm actually really against cancer and stuff. Then green light the forever chemicals, which will give people cancer. And cut pediatric cancer research at the same time, mind you. And then I also have this. They didn't know their backyard creek carried nuclear waste. Now they're dying of cancer. This is great. When Linda Morris and her family first moved to St. Louis in 1957, they had no idea they had anything to fear. Then people started getting sick. Quote, it was a slow, insidious process, Maurice said. After the death of Maurice's mother, her physician uncle took her aside and gave her a stark warning. Linda, I don't believe St. Louis is a very healthy place to live. Everyone on this street has a tumor. Their neighborhood was bordered by Coldwater Creek, a 19-mile tributary of the Missouri River. It wound through their backyards, near baseball fields, schools, and cemeteries, and past lots where leaking barrels and open-air dumps of nuclear waste leach into its waters. Quote, "It was shocking that this creek was likely making people sick," Marie said. Starting in 1942, roughly 1 ton of pure uranium was produced per day in downtown St. Louis. It was then shipped to labs across the country for the top-secret Manhattan Project that created the first nuclear bomb. The leftover waste was dumped around the city. Gee, I wonder if government regulations are important to block shit like this. That material was in 82 different spots throughout St. Louis County. It spilled. Children played in it. It seemed to me that there was an attempt to absolutely get to the bottom of it. That there wasn't an attempt to absolutely get to the bottom of it, Marie said. In Maurice's family alone, her mother, father, and brother died of cancer, leaving her to think differently about her childhood. All that time, all those fun things were happening, but that whole time, we and the rest of the community were being exposed to some pretty dangerous stuff. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say somebody goes into Trump's White House and says to him in no uncertain terms, "Sir, we have a massive issue that needs to be addressed immediately. We have a really big problem. This is very important for the health and well-being and the safety of the American people, specifically the people in Missouri. Sir, there's a nuclear creek which is still around giving everybody in this area cancer. We need to clean it up." What do you think Trump would say? What do you think he would say? He would almost certainly be like, "What are you talking about? I don't care. We got other things we got to do. What are you talking about? We're trying to get our tax cut bill through. We're trying to give billionaires and corporations more money. Like, what do you mean? We're doubling down on our war in Yemen. I don't have time to think about cancer poisoning people in the United States of America." I have zero faith in these people. They are part of the problem. Not only are they not going to help, they are part of the problem. All right, and then finally, I'll give you this one. 156 million Americans live in areas that received an F in air quality. 156 million. That's almost half. This is what it looks like when corrupt politicians accept millions of dollars in campaign contributions from polluters and big oil and put their profits over our safety. They are poisoning us for profit. Citing an NBC News article here, nearly half of Americans live in places with failing grades for air pollution. The U.S. is backsliding on air quality measures, according to an annual American Lung Association study. Nearly half of Americans live with F air quality. This is one of those things, y'all, that is like, you can rely on this to determine who's a developed country, who's a developing country, who's an underdeveloped country, right? It's like, well, what's the air quality like? And obviously, the more developed the country is, the better the air quality is. Nearly half of Americans live in F air quality. World soul superpower my ass cheeks. We ain't nowhere near that anymore, homie. We are on the way out, and it is happening rapid fire. And this scourge, this mindset of anarcho-capitalism and let the companies do whatever they want. Well, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when you don't believe in government and the power of government to fix problems. Imagine being so cucked that you go, "Government can't do anything right. We shouldn't even have them try to do anything right, bro. This will let the companies do whatever they want." Well, enjoy, because I'm certainly not. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.